One of the countries best known for earthquake preparedness is Japan, largely due to its extensive history of such events. Yet even historic earthquakes would pale in comparison to what Japan would experience in 2011. The recent advances in Japanese architecture and engineering were tested to the hilt on March 11th of that year, when the country's hitherto strongest earthquake sent shockwaves through all parts of Japanese society. In Sendai Mediatek Library, those inside the building took cover amid the ear-splitting noise, while small chunks of debris rained down around them. To add to the adrenaline of the scene, the video was recorded from the 7th floor of the building, no doubt raising fears about the structure collapsing on top of them as well as under their feet. Fortunately, the building itself was relatively new, only 10 years old at the time, and closed only briefly due to minor damage. The chaos and cacophony that unfolded, however, was illustrative of that which unfolded elsewhere in the country, especially built-up urban areas on the northeast Pacific coast. Minutes after the March 11th tsunami had reached other ports further up the east coast of Japan, a medical supply driver was making deliveries in Tagajo City when he came face to face with the deadly wave. The natural, immediate instinct would have been to back up, but what the camera couldn't capture was the tsunami's approach from behind the car at even greater height than the wave in front. As a result, the driver was trapped in his vehicle as the waters slicked underneath it. Seconds after the wave overcame it, the car was sent floating along with the driver still inside, along with every conceivable piece of wreckage from a city broken by the ocean. The driver made it out alive, but only by a matter of moments. He abandoned his car shortly before it was crushed by other debris and pushed underwater, and only survived because some of the contents in his car were large enough for him to float on. Meanwhile, 192 others perished or went missing from the Tagajo flood zone, where waters reached 5 meters in height. Even more frightening is that of the many towns, ports, and cities affected by the tsunami, Tagajo was one of the less damaged. Many of those cities and their inhabitants have still not fully recovered to this day. It is often pointed out, usually correctly, that tsunamis are not typically high walls of water, but rapidly rising water levels displaced by some unexpected event. As a result, the dangerous rise in the level of water may not be apparent until the flooding actually begins. Nevertheless, that does not mean that tsunamis cannot sometimes assume a more sensational and apocalyptic appearance, as illustrated by the events in this video. It was recorded in Nodamura, Japan, as the cameraman attempts to catch the oncoming tsunami on film, which does not appear to be imminent. Only when he zooms in does he see that the ocean on the horizon is actually the crest of the tsunami wave itself. The camera then stops recording as the horrified onlooker runs for his life, away from the wall of water. Seconds later, 40 people would lose their lives as the tsunami waters poured into Nodamura, turning nearly 1/10 of the community into a reservoir. Only a few miles north of the tsunami-devastated city of Kamaishi lies the seaside village of Ryoishi, the latter of which incurred damage even more severe than Kamaishi itself. The tsunami's approach appears slow and meandering at first, but soon builds into a cumulative flood of thick, muddy water, looking for all the world like a deluge of dirt and filth as it overcomes the docks and moves out of view.
Wow, すごいすごいすごいすごいすごいすごい。うわー、すげえ。緊張あるよ。おー。いやーや。あ、よし。いやいやいやいやいやいやいや。おー、すごい。ナティモールだ。地獄だー。すごいすごいすごいすごいすごい。いやいやいやいや、すごいぞー。わあ、こいだこいだこいだこいだこいだ。だからこのほな。いや。いやいやいやいやいや、すごいすごいすごいすごい。ああ、こいだー。ああ、ダメだダメだ。おお、すごいすごいすごい。あるだ。いやいやいやいや。マムカムね。地獄だ地獄。いや、すごいな。うわー、すごいすげえすげえすげえすげえすげえ。うわー、すげえ。ほいほいほい。なっても終わりだ。うわー、すごいすごいすごい。逃げろよー。うわー、すごい。この棒張りこいだ。うわー、すごい。うわー、来た来た来た来た。なにこれ、いや、水いるだめだな。水の津波以上だ。水の津波以上だ。うわー、すごいすげえすげえすげえすげえ。 明治の津波以上だ。ああ、どうだこれ、情報が。いや、まあな。
下がった方に。
おう、ああ。
これから。
そうだね。はいはいはいはい。はい。おー、すげえ。
The full magnitude of the tsunami only became clear as the waters returned back to the sea, displaying just what they had done to the town outside the camera's field of view. As it recedes from the village, the tsunami appears even more powerful than when it entered, not just because of the more violent churning of the waters, but because of everything that it carries with it.
地震もよります。ああ、昭和8年の津波より大きい。明治29年の津波よりも大きい。地獄だ地獄。うわあ、火だ。おお、こんな大きいぞ。まだこんな大きいの食った。こんな大きいの食った。ああ、山木のさんもやるやるよ。白山もやるやんねえか。おるよ。いやーいや。誰こんなのよそさべ。いやいや、すごい。
白山の湯もね、全部流れてる。
うん、流れよ。誰こんなのよそさって。上手に流れてやな。いやー、どうしようもねえ、これな。騒いだってなるかってあれ、それまだあれや。いやいや。何年夢にも見たことないとこならよ。すげえな。平山もこんだからさ。いやー、ほに誰がこんなことさってよ。神も仏もねえったらこのことだべや。いやいや、防波堤も何もなのだ。いやー、うわー、うわー、すげえあるよ。70や、みろり70や。いやいや、ナイアガラここは。そう、誰こんな声に言っててよ、ナイアガラ。いやすごい。地獄絵図だ。地獄だ。
Even after the waters receded, having destroyed all but a fraction of the community, the danger was not over. Another tsunami wave would come and go within 10 minutes, further mashing most of what was left.
악마다.
Of the 156 homes in Ryoishi village, only 5 were found to be undamaged when the last of the waters had gone. One more city that was highly vulnerable to the tsunami, among so many others, was the community of Iwanuma. Iwanuma lies on a mostly flat portion of the Pacific coast of Miyagi Prefecture, and the parking lot of this complex is no better an environment for a flood of water that has nothing substantial enough to obstruct it. In eerie silence, this truck dashcam recorded the entrance and progression of the tsunami into the city, where the floodwaters reached heights of almost 10 meters above sea level, drowning 180 people beneath their surface.